To all of you, my friends, as you can see that again we are standing on this bank called river Yamuna, and you can see that this is also a part of wetland, as this portion is connected to the Yamuna Biodiversity Park. Today I want to discuss one of the concept given in the Indian polity Lakshmikant, that is called sovereignty. So basically we think that or we come across with the question called, is India a sovereign nation or not? Yes, most of us, they believe that definitely India is a sovereign nation, because whenever India takes its political decision or any kind of decision, whether it is related to its internal matter or it is related with its external matter, India is not, you can say, affected while the decision is being taken by any different country, or there is no any external factor which affects the decision making power of India. So in this context we say that neither we are getting affected by China nor Pakistan or nor any other country when we go to take any decision. Hence India is a sovereign nation. Yes, definitely India is in this perspective. But one thing we also need to understand, that you should have definitely heard these two words. The one is called liberty and the second is called freedom. Freedom and liberty, we think that they are same. But my friends, there is a technical difference between these freedom and liberty. What is the technical difference? Let me tell you. Freedom means free. Means you have every right to do anything. You can kill somebody, you can rob somebody, you can steal something from anyone, you can abuse anybody, because you have freedom. But when we talk about the liberty, so your freedom comes with some terms and conditions, and your freedom comes with responsibilities. So when we add these terms and conditions, when we add these responsibilities, the birth of liberty happens. So basically the liberty is nothing but a responsible freedom. So I want to tell you that this liberty is not an absolute concept. So in the same way, this sovereignty is also not a sovereign concept. India is a sovereign nation, but in international politics, when we go to study this term, we realize that India is not this sovereignty is not an absolute word. Let me give you example, and you have experienced it as well. The relationship between USA and Syria. You know that Syria is facing the pressure of USA, and USA has dropped its troops inside Syria. So don't you think that Syria's sovereignty is getting affected? But you know what are the logics given by USA? USA is saying that the human rights violation is happening inside Syria. The women are not secure. The people's rights are not protected, and that's why USA is going inside Syria and affecting its sovereignty. In the same way, my friends, in case of India, this sovereignty, as I have told you, that it is not an absolute concept, so it can also be affected, provided India is also meeting the same kind of human rights violation. India is also meeting the same kinds of problem. For instance, the farmer protest is going on in our country for a very long time. It's been more than 9 months, and it will complete a year in the coming 2 or 3 months. So if in this farmer protest, let's assume the government of India starts and killing and starts shooting the farmers, and we know that farmers are protesting in a peaceful manner. This is the right given in the Indian Constitution. It's a fundamental rights to perform a peaceful protest. So if government is doing, or the human rights is happening, the human rights are not getting protected, and these kinds of problems are happening, and the state government, neither the state government nor the central government is trying to protect these rights. In this case, as India is the part of United Nations, India has some responsibilities to follow the universal principles, to follow these guidelines which are given inside, or being the member of United Nations, the responsibilities we have. So you can say in the book of United Nations, those principles are given. It is the responsibility of every member country of United Nations. These principles must be followed. So these human rights and these kinds of universal principles, they are the things which need to be followed by every member nation of UN. And if these principles are getting diluted, if these principles are being compromised, then in these circumstances, the United Nations can come and enter into India. And in this case, we cannot say that India's sovereignty is being compromised. So, I would like to conclude by saying that yes, India is a sovereign nation. But in international politics, this sovereignty is not an absolute term. We also need to see with a different angle. And if these kinds of problems are happening, then India's sovereignty can be compromised, because the United Nations or even the USA, by taking the confidence into United Nations or by any other country who is powerful to protect these rights, those are universal in nature, can enter into India's territory and our decisions can be affected. So that's why we need to concentrate always. We need to understand these human rights all the time, because ultimately the country cannot survive if the peoples of that country are not getting protected. Thank you very much.